Yeah, God greetings. May I welcome you again quite warmly. This is Hulda Offenbauer. I would like to tell you a story today that I experienced a few days ago while running. A car, a Pajero, passed me and I looked at the license plate. It was a vanity plate saying Hunting 99. I thought, oh, again, such a one. As I walk along, I see that the car has stopped and the man is talking to a neighbor of us. Walking by, I get the impulse to go and tell him, "Woe to the hunters, they should be hunted themselves." There was a contradiction in me because another voice in me said, "You can't go in there, they're talking. And besides, look, you with your shorts and your t-shirt, without makeup, sweaty, you can't go and talk to them like that." It's always the same game inside of us, where we hear an inner voice and then on the other side, the mind immediately kicks in saying, "No, no, don't do it." Always the opposite. We should learn to always listen to that very first impulse. But this voice became more and more intense. "Go there now and say it." So I decided to just do it. What the heck? I've nothing to lose. More than being insulted can't happen to me. Then I stepped between the two men and asked, "Is this your car?" The hunter turned and gave me a look like Rumpel had jumped in my face. That was a real avalanche of, I don't know how to describe it, like malice, evil confrontation, even though I hadn't said anything yet. You could tell right away that there was another spirit at play here. He said, "Yes, the car is mine. Why?" I asked, "Are you a hunter?" He said, "Yes, why do you ask?" I said, "Do you know what Jesus says about hunters?" They both looked at me in wonder and silence. Then I said, "Do you know who Jesus is? Do you know Jesus?" "Yes." Jesus says, "Woe to the hunters, for they themselves should be hunted." With this sentence I had broached a conversation or topic where one word made the other. We were talking about God and the world. It wasn't an evil conversation like I'm the one pointing the finger and saying, "You evil one, you can't hunt anymore." No, it wasn't like that at all. I had become quite positive and everyone was able to speak their mind. Everyone accepted the other's opinion. It wasn't that, it was an argument. It was interesting, and somehow the subject of death came up. He was like, "We all have to die." I said, "Yeah, okay, and what about after death?" He said, "Then it's over anyway." So I said, "No, then it's not over, because then what you do now here on earth will be settled in the hereafter. What a person sows, he will reap. That what you do now will be settled there. And it is so. Whether you believe me or not, it is so. There are causal laws, universal causal laws. Cause and effect. That is so. And you will not escape it, any more than I will escape it. Then it got quiet for a moment, and finally the hunter said, "Stick to what you believe." I thought to myself, "Look," and said, "Yes, and you think about what I told you." After that, I kept walking. We find this text passage in the Gospel of the Perfect Life. The church took this text out of the Bible because otherwise they would not be allowed to eat hunting meat or to participate in hunting. There is this Hubertus Mass, very interesting. In any case, it is written in the Gospel of the Perfect Life. There it says that Jesus and his disciples met a man who had trained dogs to hunt other animals. Jesus said to this man, "Why are you doing this?" The man answered, "Because I live from it." "What use are these animals? The animals are weak, but the dogs are strong." So Jesus said to him, "You lack wisdom and love. Behold, every creature that God has created has its purpose, and who can tell what good is in it and for what benefit it is for you or for mankind? For your subsistence, behold, the fields as they grow and are fruitful, the fruit-bearing trees and the herbs, what more do you want than what the honest labor of your hands gives you?" He's saying here, you don't need to earn your money by doing this. Go to the field and earn your money there. There is enough honest work here. Then he says, "Woe to the states that abuse their strength, and woe to the prudent who wound the creatures of God. Woe to the hunters, for they themselves shall be hunted." The man was greatly astonished, and desisted from training the dogs to hunt and taught them to save life and not to spoil it. He accepted the teaching of Jesus and became his disciple. The bottom line is that we must learn to listen to our inner voice, this first impulse. The second, woe to the hunters, because they should be hunted themselves. Cause and effect. What man sows, that he will reap. No one escapes that. I believe that God wants to use us to tell people these messages. We are allowed to do that. I believe that the moment we decide to do what God shows us, we have heavenly support. I experience that all the time when I really do what God shows me, that inner voice. Then I may be under the blessing, and it always ends well. So I wish you God's richest blessings for this.